Welcome to Shape the Podcast, a podcast all about maintaining mental health by sharing stories from those who have overcome negative experiences and feelings, then turned them into something positive. Meet your host.
Oh, hey, what's up, everybody? Sorry, we're just over here dancing to our intro. It's a lovely intro, by the way. And thank you for all joining us. The one viewer that we have, congratulations. You're the first viewer. I wish you would comment. That way we know who you are.
Listen, it's 100% more than zero.
That is true. That is true. Yes. So what's up, sir? How are you?
Not much. What's going on, man? 2 weeks went by fast. We're back here again.
Yeah, I know. And another 2 weeks will go by even faster. Okay? And I'm not ready for that. Because
so do we have an episode before Cyan?
We do have
after Cyan.
We have an episode before Cyan.
The Wednesday before. Got it.
The Wednesday before, yeah. And then there's Cyan. So yeah, I'm not ready yet, but I'll be okay. You know, that's just beard stuff. You know, it just happens.
Listen, you can only be so ready. The rest of it will just fall into place.
No, and then a few months after that, I got Gatlinburg. I'm okay. I'm okay. You know, I'm still working on getting category sponsorships for Gatlinburg. I've already got my main sponsors, but yeah, so it's okay. And I'm in that stage right now of making sure that all my raffles are getting taken care of for Cyan. I'm also in that stage of making sure that my prize packs arrive on time for Cyan. You know, so yeah, I'm a little stressed, but I'll be all right. You know, just that's what work does. When I go to work, all the stress goes away because I'm too busy working to think about what I'm doing in 2 weeks. So,
well, I'm looking forward to it, and I can tell you as of 20 minutes ago, Livy is looking forward to it too, because she was discussing her potential Whiskerina craft ideas with me.
All right, I like that. Yes.
So you might even see her on stage.
That's amazing. That'd be great. And speaking of somebody who will be at Cyan in a couple weeks, my dear friend Mike Sheely.
So I get to meet the famous Mikeys finally.
Yep, yeah. You'll meet Mikey's beard coat, and you'll meet his wife Skylar. She's going to be tattooing there. They'll be there all weekend long, from Friday till the sun goes down on Sunday. But yeah, Mikey's will be there. Mikey's got some cool stuff in the works. But enough about bearding. Let's talk mental health. How about it? So,
let's do it.
How's your mental health been this week?
Mine, fortunately, is always great. I am the epitome of zero fucks given.
That's true.
You know this as well as everybody else that knows me, that I'm always happy. It's always good.
I'll tell you,
no matter what else is going on.
Mine's been okay, but not okay. A lot of
it's
people
okay
know,
to be not okay.
Yeah. So a lot of people know that doing a podcast of this caliber, sometimes it is hard to get people to talk about their mental health, and sometimes those people, when they say they're ready, they're not ready, and things happen, and then you just have to rearrange your schedules and bump people up, or go to people that you've been talking to, such as our guest tonight, and say, hey, well, why don't you come on the show? So that is where we're at tonight. Yes, it has been a week. Yes.
It's one of the things we struggle with often, is having to last minute shuffle and find somebody or move somebody forward or find somebody new. And listen, we love and respect and appreciate all the guests, and for a
Yeah.
lot of people, this is the first place they really open up, and I can understand how intimidating that can be.
It is, yeah.
So,
You've done it. You've been on the show as a guest. I've
mhm.
shared my story as not only a host but a guest. It's very intimidating for people, to come on and talk about their feelings and talk about the way life is. And
Yeah.
speaking of this gentleman, I have never met in person. Maybe one day I will. But I don't know where I was in some group on Facebook, came across him and started talking, and then like he was expressing via Facebook, some things he was going through, and so I reached out to him and said, "Hey, man, you want to come on Shake? You want to come on the podcast and talk about what's going on in your life?" And he reluctantly said yes, like no ifs, ands, or buts. Did not think twice, or maybe he did. I don't know. But tonight's guest is Mr. Brandon Chewy Barnson. So let's go ahead and bring him to the stage. What's up, sir? Welcome. Welcome to the show. But first of all, but before we get into the meat and potatoes, where did the name Chewy come from?
I am a avid, diehard Star Wars fan.
All right.
I used to work at a company, and my warehouse workers, they were a group of Mexican guys, and I had my big beard, my long hair, and I was always wearing a Star Wars t-shirt. And so they nicknamed me Chewy, and that was 10 years ago now. And it's just stuck ever since.
Chewy has brought a fan club with him to the show today.
Yep. I have a feeling there would be more Chewbacca fan members popping in throughout the show. So I kind of figured when I saw that, I was like, either it's a food related thing, or B, it's a Star Wars thing.
Oh yeah,
obviously because of the beard, because of the hair.
Right. And unfortunately, okay, so I have the nickname Chewy, but I cannot do that for the life of me.
You can't.
I'm dying when I do it, bro. I'm not even gonna. It's horrible. Yeah, no.
I need about 2 whiskeys to loosen up just right, and I can do it perfect.
And that's probably what I'm missing. I don't drink anymore, so
I'm not recommending it.
Yes. Yeah. So somebody said you have 1 million Star Wars stickers on your toolbox.
Yes, right. I do, and it's one of the general 2-stack shop boxes, and I luckily have a black and white one, so I call it my Stormtrooper box, and it's about 3/4 of the way covered in Star Wars stickers.
Yes, and so before the show began tonight, we actually Star Wars geeked out for a little bit. We showed each other our lightsabers. Right, like he's got a couple behind him, and I have one up here. I like to keep it up there. It's better, out of the hands of kids. So, Brandon, there's a lot of people on here that know you right now, but there's a lot of people that don't know you. So introduce yourself, and then we'll get why you're here.
Well, I'm Brandon. I'm a panel builder, build electrical boxes for a commercial company. I'm a team lead, a father, single dad. My son Jackson's right here. My daughter Briley is off in her room. I have 2 other kids that are living with their mom right now. I work 4 days a week, and the rest of the time is pretty much dedicated to my kids or doing something with my club for the community or something to try and help better people's lives.
So what type of club are you in? I mean,
I'm a hopeful for the Utah chapter of the Bearded Villains.
So a lot of people who are listening to this on Apple or will watch this later and aren't familiar with the breeding community, the Villains are a club within the breeding community, just like other clubs throughout the U.S. and even international that do a lot of charitable work through these lovely things that we have on our faces called facial hair.
We're bonded by beard hair because we love to help the community. That's what's the best about the bearding community.
And we were talking, a couple of days ago, and you said that that's been a part of your therapy, with helping out that. Let's get into that subject if you wouldn't mind.
It's really the biggest thing that's helped is the camaraderie. Like, just like you guys, like I've never met either of you in person, but I guarantee I'll walk up to you and give you a big hug, like we're brothers, like, because we share similar stories, we share similar likes, we're about helping others.
Yeah.
And that's really like one of the biggest things that's helped me along the way is finding this support group that walk similar paths, but not similar paths. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Yeah, and it's always good to have that support out there. I mean, mental health is not something that nobody should take lightly. There is the stigma that is, it's just terrible.
Yep.
A lot of people don't talk about their mental health, and then it's too late. It's too late because they're no longer here.
Right.
Mhm.
So it's great that you're able to do that. You're able to share that with people that are in your life. So let's talk about your mental health journey. When did you realize that, hey, my life is unmanageable and I got to do some type of help with it?
What really started me wanting to get better, my daughter saved my life. The day she called me dad, my whole life changed. I quit living for myself and I started living for my kids. And that's what saved me.
And is she your firstborn?
Uh, she is my first. I came into her life when she was 2.5 years old.
Nice.
And
I think it's crazy, man, because like I can empathize with you by that. Like I was 38 when I became a father. Didn't want to be
I
a
was
father.
30.
Yeah, didn't want to do it. Had no. But hey, you know what? You meet a girl off Tinder, and you start dating. Next thing you know, a kid happens, right? But
Well, I
like
was working as an escort for a modeling group. I would be there to help them go from to the photo shoot to make sure that the photographers that they were meeting with weren't trying to pull any funny business.
Yep.
And I was tied into a group here locally. They're unfortunately no longer around, but one of the models was actually my kid's mom, and that's what brought us together was me working as a security guard.
It's amazing though how a child can change the trajectory of your life.
Dude, I was a knucklehead. I mean, I'm still a
Me too.
knucklehead, but
Me too.
but
So is Jason.
I was on a real self-destructive path, and I probably wouldn't be here if it wasn't for her.
That's amazing. I mean, I can say that because, yeah, it's for for somebody like that. You get called dad and you realize, oh fuck, man, I got a purpose, right?
Mhm.
I have a purpose now. I have this child that I have to be here for. I have to be an example of a father for this child. That kind of snaps you out of the reality of it's time to grow up. It's So I can totally empathize with you that because my son has been that big change for me. You know, and my wife, I she knows that but we all have that change that happens in our lives sooner or
Oh
later.
yeah.
You know,
Oh yeah.
so so how was that, man? You found out that you're a father, just to that changes your trajectory on your life.
Well,
How was your life prior?
so she she's actually not mine at all.
All right,
Not not blood or anything, but I say she's my daughter. She was just born before I met her.
Mhm.
And
I know that sentiment very well.
yep,
but my life before that, I man, a lot of drug use, a lot of alcohol, a lot of trying to numb the traumas and things that I've been through. Uh, Not just myself, but I'm I'm a certified EMT firefighter,
all
and
right,
I was got my EMT uh, while I was in high school. So I graduated my high school with my EMT certification. Immediately went into the fire department, and I worked for a rural ambulance, and I was actually their first full time EMT on call there on a weekly basis.
Hmm.
Um, and I worked there up until a week before my 21st birthday. Um, had a pediatric call that had an 18-month-old baby die in my arms.
Mm.
Uh, their family was heading southbound on the freeway that went through town, um, and the dad fell asleep behind the wheel. There was it was him, his wife, his the driver's 18-year-old brother-in-law, their 13-year-old daughter, 14-year-old daughter, uh, 8-year-old daughter, and then the 18-month-old baby. Now, mind you, this is a mid '90s GMC 2500 crew cab truck, bench seats in front, bench seats in the back, and they've got that many people in there. Uh, the baby was in the car seat. Car seat wasn't seat belted in the vehicle. He fell asleep, drifted into the center median. The vehicle rolled 6 or 7 times. Uh, Her car seat was ejected from the truck and found 150 feet away from it, face down.
Mm.
I was
Mm.
first on scene. My partner went and started triaging everybody else, and I beelined it for that car seat. Flipped her over, started working her, and by the grace of the gods, a pediatric ER doctor from California was driving north on that freeway that he was on his way to teach at a conference, had everything he could need to work on that little girl in the trunk of his car. So I went from working on that little girl to helping him, and we got her stabilized and got her to what we thought was good. And he said, we got to get her out of here. We need to get her to the hospital like
Mm-hmm.
10 minutes ago. And I went to go get my gurney and my backboard, and he's like, no, like, we need to go. I want you to pick her up and let's get the hell out of here.
Yeah.
I went down, picked her up. We made it maybe 15 feet from where I picked her up, and I felt her life leave. We stopped, worked her, and couldn't get her back. So the doc said, okay, we're done. There's nothing more we can do. So I go and put her in my rig, cover her with a blanket, and I turn around and I go to walk out of my ambulance, and I see the dad just standing there, just smoking a cigarette, no care, nothing. And yes, shock was involved, but your kids are hurt. There's nothing that's gonna stop you from like freaking the fuck out.
Yeah.
And so I got angry. Like the switch flipped and I went full knucklehead. And I started walking towards him. Well, the ambulance service I worked for was ran by the sheriff's department. My boss happened to just pull up right in time and jumps out of his squad car and grabs me, slams me up against my rig. Brandon, what are you doing? Jack, I'm going to go show this guy what he did. He's like, no, you're not. So there was back and forth, and it finally came to the point where Jack said, if you don't go back and get in your rig, I'm going to place you under arrest, put you in handcuffs, and you're going to sit in the back of my squad car. And so I said, okay, I got you. I heard you, sir. Loaded up all my stuff, went to the hospital, dropped 3 of them off, including the baby that didn't make it, and went back to the shed, bleached my entire rig, restocked everything, went downstairs, packed up all my stuff. As soon as Jack walked in, I followed him into his office, and I quit that day. That was a week before my 21st birthday. I've never worked as an EMT since.
Yeah, I've never done it, and I've never worked in anything like that. But I've seen death, and it's hard to sometimes come back from that once you see it,
especially when it's a child.
Yeah,
that's what fucked me.
An innocent right child.
Yeah.
Yep. And like I'd been almost 2 years working full time as an EMT at that point. I've delivered 3 babies. I had one elderly gentleman. He was going to his best friend that he grew up with since he was 3 years old. His funeral, passed away in the funeral home parlor, like right in the entryway. And I've had frequent flyers that have died sitting on the toilet because they weighed over 1,000 pounds and had a coronary while they were, and it's just, it's different when it's a kid.
Yeah. Yep. I mean, it kind of hits home. You know what I'm saying? Like, because that could be like your kid, my kid, Jason's kid, anybody's kid. But and of course we don't know what that gentleman was going through. Hey, if you're tired and you got a boatload of people in your car or something, pull over, get some sleep.
Just pull over.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. I mean, really. But let's read this comment real quick from Mike Rose. He said that you and him have a shit ton in common, and that you need to grab coffee soon. So hey, maybe you need to hit Row up and grab some of that Utah coffee there.
He hand carved this for me.
What is it? What is that you're wearing, sir?
It's my Mjolnir. It's Thor's hammer.
All right.
And that man made that.
Nice. That's awesome. So after you walked out of the EMT, like what happened to your life after that?
Oh man, it was a whirlwind of trying to mask everything. I was drinking every day. I was doing every drug under the sun. I was trying to numb it with sex and just hide. And it was not a good life. Like I said, I'm lucky I'm still here.
Well, you're here for a reason, you know what I'm saying?
Yep.
Like, and I can say that as a 3-time suicide survivor. There's a reason why those 3 times didn't work, Yep. And there's also a reason why I haven't tried it since,
Our story's not over.
We that's why I have the semicolon right here. You know what I'm saying? It's it's just, that's one chapter, but our lives have many chapters, and this is for anybody out there. Everybody has a purpose in life. You might not think that you do have a purpose, or you might not know what your purpose is, but you might be an owner of a beard oil company, who lives in Connecticut and has chops, and that might be your purpose. And or you might be this guy who's a co-host of a mental health podcast. This is my purpose. I found my purpose a long time ago when I was a part of the bearding community, and then I found my purpose again when I started this podcast. So everybody has a purpose in life. You just have to listen. You have to shut up and listen, all right, and be still, and pray to whoever you got to pray to, to give you the guidance, and say, hey, what am I here for? Because we're not just here to exist.
Right.
We can all exist. Existing's cool, but if you're not doing something with your life to better it, then you're not discovering your purpose.
I say it's crap. I just went blank. I lost it. I'm sorry.
All good. So it's funny. You not to go sidetrack, but you posted that thing the other day on talking about being put in the friend zone by a prostitute.
Okay, I really have to hear this story.
Yes. So he told me not to bring it up, but I'm gonna bring it up anyway because
it was just a dumb meme, but there's kind of a story that goes.
I was gonna say there's
it.
Context to this because you told me not to bring it up.
I used to frequent gentlemen's clubs when I was a younger man.
All right.
And there was a night, the boys that I went with, we would call it going to church. And we were at church one night, and we were out front smoking a cigarette with the bouncer, and this car pulls into the parking lot. And as soon as it comes within distance that they could see the people standing out in front, it's dead stops. And then it sits there for a minute, and then it creeps around the front of the building and goes and parks where all the dancers park. Bouncer goes back in, and my buddies and I were sitting there finishing our cigarettes and everything, and bouncer comes right back out, walks right up to me. He's all, "Hey, pal, can I see your ID? I know I checked it already, but I just got to double check something." I'm like, "Yeah, sure. Yeah, no problem." Hand it to him. He's all, "Okay, I'll be right back." Goes inside, and he comes back out. He's like, "All right, bro, I'm so sorry, but the car that pulled around was one of our dancers, and apparently you look exactly like her ex-boyfriend that she has a restraining order against. And I just had to double, and he was a stalker, and he's all, I just had to double check and make sure that you weren't." So they nicknamed me Stalker, and that was like the running joke at that club was anytime I walked in and that bouncer, "Hey, what's up, Stalker?" And everybody in the bar would just turn and look at me, and I just start laughing.
Nothing like being put in the friend zone by a
and it was hilarious because she came out, danced, and then they would go around and give everybody a hug and say thank you, whatnot. And
she wouldn't hug you, would she?
Oh no, she did. I was back shooting on the pool table, and she came up all sheepish, and "I am so sorry," like this, that, and the other. And I just laughed about it. I'm like, honestly, that just made my night. Like, I'm the only person in the world that has the Stalker nickname at a strip club, and it's not a bad thing.
Well, so on the positive side, because I'm always going to look at this from the positive side, you already had it in with her because she already liked the way you look.
Yep. Uh-huh. But
otherwise, the guy that looked just like you wouldn't have been one of her boyfriends.
Right.
So really, you never had a chance in Hades with her. Sorry.
Nah. it was just hilarious. It was good, and that's kind of what ties into that. And I honestly don't really have the best of luck at dating, so that
I
was the other
mean,
part of that.
do we really until we meet our significant others? I mean, and some people don't have the best luck in marriage. Okay,
Right.
I've only been married once, and my luck hasn't run out yet. She puts up with everything that I am. Right, so she puts up with my shenanigans.
Right.
But
That's what you go only what you can hope for, right?
my friends tell her all the time that they like her more than they do me, and that is probably true. Right, my wife is a very lovable, likable person. Right, but so yeah, I just had to bring that up to break the seriousness up for a little bit. I had to because you told me not to, and there's more to this.
So for everybody watching, the moral of the story is don't tell Kyle not to do something.
Right. Right.
You have to reverse psychology his ass on this.
And I don't think that would have worked in this situation either. I was screwed the moment I posted that.
I mean, everybody saw it. I wasn't the only one.
I got no shame. I mean, look, you look at my profile picture. It's an AI version of me as a female in a Victorian dress.
a very pretty female at that too.
I gotta say, I do look good as a bearded woman.
You can make it. So let's continue this journey. So
yeah, right there. See, so pretty.
I mean, that is a very pretty, beautiful woman. Wait, hold on a minute. All right. So Nicole said, "Ask you about being the prettiest girl."
Because I am the prettiest girl at the party.
Yes.
But that's what that's about is because at work I'm the prettiest girl at the party, and I say that all the time.
Somehow I can see that. Okay. So let's get.
That's actually my boss, Nicole.
Is that your boss?
Yeah.
Oh well, hey, welcome to the podcast. I hope you like it. I hope you will give us a like and a follow on Facebook and on YouTube and on Apple Podcasts. We would appreciate
it. And even more so, we hope Brandon has a job after tonight.
Yes.
Oh,
because
I am worried.
Because we haven't even got to that part. Right? So the EMS goes out the window, because obviously, the trauma and the pain of that and the PTSD. Let's put it that way.
That's just one of the events. I mean,
hey, that's what I'm saying. We got time, brother. So you're going through all this. At what point, how many rounds of drugs, how many rounds of alcohol, you're like, all right, I gotta wise up, even though you'll never be wise enough. But.
My drug abuse and coping and everything like that started when I was 12 years old. Well, 8 years old is when I first started smoking weed. And that was to cope with the fact that I was sexually assaulted by one of my family members at that age. And that was the only thing that I knew or could find that would make me feel okay with myself. And that's kind of what started the whole downward spiral, so to speak. Like, I was living a double life. There was the person that I presented when I was in school, when I was around friends, when I was around my family. But inside, I was screaming and hurting and didn't know what to do. And I mean, I'm from Utah. The Mormons have a huge grasp on this state, and I'm the youngest of 11. I come from a blended family. I've got 4 brothers, 6 sisters, and I'm, like I said, I'm the youngest of them all, and I had to deal with always being compared to them growing up, and on top of that, the stigma of you always presented this perfect picture perfect family. Nothing was wrong. We were always perfect. Like everything was in its place. You wore, and so I hid that part away and tried to deal with it in whatever way I could find. And yeah, it just got worse as years went on, and I struggled, but I still I never stopped fighting, obviously, because I graduated from school. I became an EMT. Like I've always tried to be of service because I didn't have that. Like that's what I needed out of life.
Yeah.
And
so it was never brought up, nothing, or
I wasn't. It was brushed under the rug. It was our It's, I mean, really, it still is our family's dark secret that nobody will talk about, and it's just, it is what it is.
And that's gotta be, pardon my French, it's gotta be fucking hard, man. To sit there. I mean, you're talking about it now, but bro, I mean, like to sit there and have to deal with that, on now you're an adult.
This is the first time that I have openly said anything about that. Ever. I'm 43 years old. So I carried that for 35 years.
That's a lot to carry.
Well, and any time that I would share that with a partner or with friends or anything like that throughout my life, it always would get used against me. It would get flipped, and I would get treated differently. I would, and it. So I just kept it hidden again, and I didn't share it. But I'm at a point now that people need to hear this.
Yeah, they do.
People need to know it's okay.
Yeah, because there could be somebody out there right now who has that in their life, who went through the same shit, and who's afraid to say something about it. Our guest 2 weeks ago, Jason's daughter,
I actually just watched that.
Is a survivor of that, and she was told not to say anything,
I actually,
it's not helping y'all.
Jay, when you asked for people to write letters, I emailed her.
Thank you for that.
It's and I have a family member. And I don't talk about it much, but my brother, my twin brother, is a sex offender. And so it's hard for me to deal with that, but it's also hard for me to see that people like you and like others will hold it in so much because they're afraid to talk about it, I've never been on that side. I know people who have been sexually abused, and some to this day won't say anything about it, but that's not the burden for you to carry, that's not the burden for anybody to carry. And yes, my relationship with my brother is not nowhere near what it used to be. We hardly talk. I'll never forgive him for what he did. Never, I have friends that have also been sexually abused and also are sexual abusers. I won't forgive those who've done it. I never will. I hope that they rot in hell for the things that they've done, but it's hard, man. It's one of those things to where more people need to come out and say something about it. But I get it. People are afraid. They're afraid because, like you said, it'll be used against them. You know, that it'll be turned, and
but it's also our generation. It's the stigma that a man is strong. We don't talk about feelings. We bottle it up. We bury it. We go to work. We provide. That's what we do. That's not right.
That's the common theme with every male guest we have.
Yep.
Is everybody says this is what we were taught, and that is the thing we need to overcome as a society.
It's bullshit.
Yeah,
it's bullshit. And
it is. And it's hard for us as men, as hosts of every podcast. It's hard for us to get women to come on our podcast to talk about this shit they're going through, because we're guys and we don't understand, you know. But this podcast isn't just for men; it's about everybody, you know. But yeah, it's every guest we've had, like I said, like Jason has said, it's the same thing over and over again. You know?
Well, and I'm doing this for my son.
Yeah, I saw.
He knows.
Yeah,
that it's not supposed to be that.
Yeah, and
it's okay to cry. It's okay to feel.
It's okay to not be okay, you know. And I hate to interrupt this story, but I just got a message from Natalie Johnson. People know Aaron and Natalie in the community. Over the weekend, her nephew was badly beaten up, robbed. His home was burglarized. He actually passed away. So they're headed down to Jacksonville right now. So, and that was her sister's son. Had just enrolled.
Got a lot of love for Aaron and Nat.
Yeah, had just enrolled to go to like aeronautical school, you know, to work on planes and stuff like that. And over the weekend was badly beaten and robbed, and unfortunately did not make it. So keep Aaron and Natalie in your thoughts of your prayers.
For sure.
But
Chewy loves you both.
It's a hard thing for people to talk about their feelings, you know, and I wish more people would do it, you know. But like you said, you've never been to therapy. This is your therapy, you know, and this is one of the unconventional ways to deal with that, you know. Life is not going to be great every single day.
Life's not pretty.
No,
it's not supposed to be. It's supposed to be a challenge, because that's what makes the pretty days worth it.
If life was all great, life would be pretty damn boring. Let's just put it that way. You know, if we went through life and every single day was the same as the day before and nothing changed, you know, how fun and exciting would life be? You know, it's like Groundhog Day. You wake up, you do the same cycle over and over again. You know, no, that's not the way life is. You know, but also that goes with the same cycle of dealing with mental health. Unless you start doing something about it, either A, talking about it, or B, getting the help you need, it's the same cycle. You know,
you have to become the change.
Yep, you got to break it.
Be the change that you want to see in the world.
And it's hard for people to do that, you know. So I applaud you for talking about it, you know, and don't stop, you know.
This isn't for me. This is for those listening.
Well, it's also for you. Okay, we never want to take the credit for ourselves, you know, but it's okay to take the credit for yourself, you know. It's like, and I can honestly say that it's okay to take that credit, you know, because this podcast is my therapy, you know. I don't go to a therapist, you know. I'm dealing with things in regards to my son, and I should really talk to somebody about it. But this is my therapy, coming on every other week, hosting this podcast, getting to talk to people like you, you know. That's what we need in this life, you know. And so people need to realize that. Speak up. You know, if you're going through the shit and you don't think anybody's gonna listen, somebody will listen. You know, you come on this podcast and you spend an hour on this podcast talking about the shit you're going through. Somebody's gonna listen because it's gonna be posted on Facebook. It's gonna be posted on YouTube. It's gonna be posted on Apple Podcasts. Somebody's gonna be forced to listen to it. All right.
Yeah. And anybody who's listening, I'm always ready to listen to you.
So, and you were sharing how one of your kids is transgendered.
My second oldest.
I think that is a brave thing for a child to go through. You know, especially in today's society. You know, so I commend your child for.
So Alec and I joke. So, can you see me? You can see me, right? I'm a shitty transparent.
I'm sad that it took a half a second. I'm like, I'm looking at the hand, and I'm like, is this easy, or am I missing something deeper? But that was just right there. That was the softball.
Yeah. I think that it's amazing for Alec, for them to discover who they truly are. You know, a lot of people are afraid to do that. You know, a lot of people are afraid to discover who they truly are. What is your boss saying? Let's see here. Said it. You were nervous about it all day long. He said he will lay it all on the table. He just doesn't want me. You know what? I'm gonna tell you right now. If anybody looks at you differently, message me. I'll give him Jason's phone number. Because I'm not a fighter. I'm a lover. But nobody should be looked at differently for sharing your fucking story. And I say that. And I
differently, but in a positive way.
Yeah.
Yeah, I don't want the pity. That's not what this is about.
Yeah.
Well, that will always happen in life, you know. I'm not big on pity parties, but it's part of life, man. You're gonna get that, you know what I'm saying? You're gonna get those people who will throw you a pity party, and then you'll get those people that will fucking be like, thank you for speaking up, because you are the example that I need in my life. You know what I'm saying? And you got two of them right behind you. I think, you know, you're the example for your kids. You know, you're living for your kids. You know,
every day.
And if that's what it takes, man, then by God, keep on living.
Yep.
You know, it's hard, man. It's this day and time. I mean, you've seen it. The news, you know, everything in life. People are scared right now, you know, and this is a place
as they should be.
No judgment. Right? When you come on this podcast, there's no judgment. You know, you can express yourself freely however you want to be. I don't look at anybody differently than the other person, because I'm not that guy. You know, I love everybody the same. You know, it doesn't matter what your color is. It doesn't matter what your religious preference is. It doesn't matter your political preference. I love everybody. You know, and that will never change. It won't be. You know, there's two things in this life that I really don't like, and that's politics and religion. Right? I'm a spiritual human being, and I will always be that person. Like, there's a reason why I'm here, you know, and it's somebody that's been watching out for me. It's somebody that's been watching out for you. You know what I'm saying? Like, you quitting the EMS business, that might have been because of your temper, but it's also because somebody was like saying, hey, you know, this isn't for the life of you, you know.
Yep.
And So you don't drink now,
Nope.
right? You're California sober, as they say.
Yes,
Right?
sir.
For those who don't know what California sober is, that means that he likes the green grass. Okay. Now there are some people that say that marijuana is a gateway drug. All right. I'm here to tell you that if it helps you get through your day, if it helps with your anxiety, if it helps with your depression,
It keeps me off prescription medication. I also have I've got 2 crushed discs in my lower back, and it is how I manage my pain because I refuse to take opiates.
which is great.
Which is well, and that was something that I abused in my past, so I don't want to give myself that excuse.
Yeah, and that's and opiates are a hard thing to come off.
Mm-hmm.
You know, I mean, I know from back in my heyday of heavy drinking and heavy drugging, opiate users, man, it's a hard thing. You know, that's why the opioid crisis is so big. You know, that's why Narcan is so big right now. It's because once you start an opiate, it's hard to stop it. You know.
So that's actually why I have this tattoo. It says infection free. This is my sobriety tattoo. I started this 15, almost 16 years ago. And it's evolved into a quarter sleeve, and it's my daily reminder of how far I've come and the poisons I've left behind.
And that's and sobriety comes in many different forms. Okay, I can say this. You know, I'm sober from cocaine, meth, you know, things of that nature. I drink, you know, but I'm not out here getting plastered. You know, I'm not. That's not the life for me. It used to be, but it will never be ever again because I got way too much to live for. You know, but like yeah, so sobriety comes in many different forms, right?
And I allow myself, like like I said earlier when we were talking before the show, is I'll allow myself to have a beer when I go to beard competitions, when I'm around my family, you know, and hanging out, raising money, doing charity work. I'll allow that, but I don't. There's no alcohol. Well, I have a bottle. It's a little personalized 110 proof bottle of some good stuff.
only 110 proof.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, it's okay.
I mean,
I wouldn't know. I haven't tried it. It just stays sealed. It's got my name on the label on the front of it. It was a gift from a good friend of mine, and it just sits.
The day you drink it is the day you die. How about that?
Probably, maybe.
I'm like,
maybe. Better it gets buried with me.
I mean, like they say, money. You know, like we can't use it when we die, so might as well use it now. You know what I'm saying? But alcohol is a different story.
Yep.
But you know, I think it's great what you're doing, man. Having the courage to, you're not living for tomorrow. You're living for today, but you're living for the kids that you have in your life, and the guys that you have in your club. You know.
Yep. This is definitely my villain arc.
A lot of people don't realize that you know the bearding community is more than just growing a facial hair.
Mm-hmm.
You know, it's more than a beauty pageant for men getting up on stage. You know, for a lot of guys, the bearding community has saved them from going down deep, dark roads and paths. You know, so I tell everybody, you got to find that purpose. Some people have church, and I mean the church, not the fucking dance club, right? But some people have.
Hey, I
That was,
mean,
that was
if
a
that works for
gentleman's
some
club,
people,
not a
that
dance
works,
club.
you know.
Some people have church where they go on Sundays and Wednesdays and they sing songs about God, and they listen to preachers. That's what keeps them alive. Some people have friends who are hairy, and have beards and mustaches and things of that nature that keep them grounded, and so that's everybody needs that. Everybody needs that grounding in their life, and it's good to have that. So.
Yeah, it's about finding purpose, whether
Yep.
that purpose is being in the club or the competitions and being there to support and help each other, or whether it's going to the literal church, if that becomes your purpose,
Yep.
or whether it's the kids, like you mentioned in the beginning. First time, that one called you dad. It's that purpose that gives you drive and reason to continue.
Yep. And I just keep finding more and more things
Mm-hmm.
every day.
Well, dude, you can reach out. If you got shit that's on your mind and you don't know who to talk to, you can message me.
Oh yeah.
You can message Jason and he'll listen to you.
Mm-hmm.
Give me the proverbial kick in the ass that I need.
I tell you, in a quiet, gentle way,
Right.
Well, mostly quiet and mostly
Yes.
gentle.
Well, so yeah, I think it's great, man. Thank you for coming on tonight to sharing your story.
I appreciate the opportunity for sure.
Mm-hmm.
I haven't really, and I don't know why I haven't done this within the past couple of episodes, but if there's something that you could say to somebody out there, that's going through it or that's been through it, and doesn't know what to do, what's something that you can tell somebody? I mean, you said a lot, but what's your final comments?
You don't have to stay in survival mode. It's okay to come out and live. It's nice out here.
That it is.
Mm-hmm.
Well, appreciate you, man. I love you. All right, guys. It's okay to tell each other that you love each other, right?
Yep.
The world needs a lot of fucking love right now. Okay.
We need to fuck the fucking stigma, man.
Mm-hmm.
And I can say this from one human being to another. I love you. All right, you're family to me because not only are we related by a beard, but we're now related because of this podcast. So, thank you for coming on and sharing your story. I appreciate it.
Like I said, I was humbled.
Well,
Stay humble.
We appreciate it. It takes a lot to get to that point, to share openly and publicly, and we were glad that you felt comfortable enough with us and our huge following. That can be intimidating at times, but to be able to do it here with us, we thank you for that.
Yeah, thank you guys for
Mm-hmm.
sure. And I just want people to know that they matter, no matter what.
Mm-hmm.
Appreciate it. All right, well, sir, I'm gonna let you go sit in our green room and enjoy our accompaniments of California green. All right, and we'll be with you here in a moment after the show. Well, sir, well, that was a great episode, man.
That was I hate to use the term great, but a great story, a great guest. And he seemed very comfortable doing it. I'm glad he did share. Yep.
And he made me tear up. I haven't cried in a long time on a podcast. So thank you, Brandon, for making me cry. I appreciate it. But man.
I even had to text Livy along the way and say, hey, this guy was one of the ones that sent you a notice last year. So I know she'll be chiming in and watching it over the next day or two herself.
That's awesome. Well,
so that was touching.
Yeah. And so thank you all, man, that watched the show tonight. We appreciate you. We love you. If you're new to the podcast, give us a like and a follow on Facebook and on YouTube. If you're watching from YouTube, we would appreciate that as well.
And on Apple Podcasts.
Yes.
Find us on Apple and give us a rating and a review. That helps us get a little further. They push us out more.
You can be
platform.
You can be an Android user and still get on Apple Podcasts. FYI, everybody.
Mhm.
But yeah, so that is it. What a great show. As I say at the end of every episode, it's better with you here on Earth than 6 feet under. We'll see you in 2 weeks, everybody. Have a great night.
Good night, everyone.